Lights and skies, they glide at night. No explaining, hearts are racing. Chased in shadows, thrills in flight. Hovering, unseen trace. Fueled by mystery, unprovoked proof. Mavericks, electricity, we're feeling the roof. You better look up with wide-eyed sight. They're passing above like stars so bright. Ooh, drones across the skies. Whoa, drones across the skies. Silent sharks pierce the cloudy night. Hover calmly, freedom lies. Wings of the unknown defy our sight. Travelers of darkened land, curious wanderers changing the round sky. Secrets now within our hand. You better look up with wide-eyed sight. They're passing above like stars so bright. Ooh, drones across the skies. Whoa, drones across the skies, moving in formation above the light. New Jersey skies, a thrilling flight. Up with wide-eyed sight. They're passing above like stars so bright. Ooh, drones across the skies. Whoa, drones across the skies. Whoa.
My tech lizard's feeling low, circuits fried, can't glow. Silicon scales won't shine. Once a star, now it's mine. Reptile dysfunction, gears and bites malfunction. Reptile dysfunction, heart of a bot in detention. Microchips gone haywire, no more robot fire. Pixelated dreams have died, holograms cannot hide. Working in the night, try to make it right. Wires crossed in flight, dawn brings no light.
If the times I come alone, yeah, stop recording on you. You're something life, I've been rushing to be sundown. I feel this in the wild, in the wild, in the wild, in the wild.
chasing ghosts of you. Hey. Every mirror shows her face. She's alive in memories. Alright. Alright.
Anybody unbelief? Stand over and attend my teeth. It's out there to take you. I'll start to hurt.
Talking to was every two. Midnight's not seems up to fight. To feel some people.
In the wild, in the wild. By the road, on the road, by the road, by the road. Living free, just like Mama did before. In the heart of a child I find echoes of you every time I lose track in her past. Chasing dreams, her dreams, chasing dreams, that dream. Gonna ride like Mama in that silver stream. Every photo with her smile, she's a star in my mind. Won't deny in the night, in the night, in her eyes. Stars above like the ones in Mama's life. On the move, we move, always on, never still. She says she'll find her promised land with every mile, destiny she defies. Living loud, just like Mama, wild and free. In the mirror of her soul I see traces of her fearless dreams.
Night falls, drones in flight whirring through the sky. Seekers, where you at? Lights flash, hypnotize. We are the watchers. We are the seekers. We are the dreamers. We are the dreams. Let's fly, let's fly. Thrill feels electric pulse through the night. They roam seekers, where you at? Heartbeats feel like home. We are the watchers. We are the seekers. We are the dreamers. We are the dreams. Let's fly, let's fly. We are the watchers. We are the seekers. We are the dreamers. We are the dreams. Let's fly, let's fly.
Through quantum fields, our spirits thread entangled moments, words unsaid, a force unseen defying the span, linking hearts, our mystic plan. In the echo of your laughter, meet across the miles. Hearts entangled like braided smiles. No need for touch, just our minds connecting deeply. Hearts aligning, our love feels just like magic. When I'm far, you're still near. Simple waves bond so dear. Distance fades, it's still clear. I know that it's true. We stay sincere. We've got that quantum vibe. When stars align, we feel the spark. A love so bright, it lights the dark. No barrier can keep us apart. In this dance, we've made our mark. We've got that quantum bind, a love through space and time. Through quantum fields, our spirits thread entangled moments, words unsaid. A force unseen defying the span, linking hearts, our mystic plan. In the echo of your laughter, I find my peace. In the silence of your absence, love won't cease. We defy the love's gravity pulling, despite the strain. Across the stars, a cosmic sign. In your eyes, the universe aligns. Even in the dark, I feel your light. Through distant galaxies, love takes flight. When I close my eyes, I still see you here. Through all dimensions, I hold you near. This cosmic dance that we can't explain defies the laws, but breaks no chain. When planets shift and stars collide, in this universe you are my guide.
Lights and skies, they glide at night. No explaining, hearts are racing. Chased in shadows, thrills in flight. Hovering, unseen trace. Fueled by mystery, unprovoked proof. Mavericks, electricity, we're feeling the roof. You better look up with wide-eyed sight. They're passing above like stars so bright. Ooh, drones across the skies. Whoa, drones across the skies. Silent sharks pierce the cloudy night. Hover calmly, freedom lies. Wings of the unknown defy our sight. Travelers of darkened land, curious wanderers changing the red sky. Secrets now within our hand. You better look up with wide-eyed sight. They're passing above like stars so bright. Ooh, drones across the skies. Whoa, drones across the skies, moving in formation above the light. New Jersey skies, a thrilling flight. with wide-eyed sight. They're passing above like stars so bright. Ooh, drones across the skies. Whoa, drones across the skies. Whoa.
My tech lizard's feeling low, circuits fried, can't glow. Silicon scales won't shine. Once a star, now it's mine. Reptile dysfunction, gears and bites malfunction. Reptile dysfunction, heart of a bot in detention. Microchips gone haywire, no more robot fire. Pixelated dreams have died, holograms cannot hide. Wigging in the night, try to make it right. Wires crossed in flight, dawn brings no light.
If the times I come alone, yeah, stop recording on here. You're something life, I've been rushing to be sundown. I feel this in the wild, in the wild, in the wild, in the wild, in the wild. I go mad in the tracks, chasing ghosts of you. Every mirror shows her face. She's alive in memories. Alright. Alright.
And honey unbelief, stand over and attend my teeth. If out there to get you, I'll start to hurt.
Talking to was attitude, but that's not seems opposite side. To feel some people
In the wild, in the wild. By the road, by the road, by the road, by the road. Living free just like mama did before. In the heart of a child I find
Hello and welcome. It is September 24th, 2025. I am setting up for Dragus Productions Wednesday shows right now, starting out with we're going to do a pre-show for Censorship Sucks, and then we'll get everybody and everything together. And then later on, we'll have Jack Carey come in after Censorship Sucks is done, and we'll have Nancy Planetta to finish it out for the night. So sit back, relax while I get all the bells and whistles going. Hope everybody had a great week. It's hump day, and I really hope you have your finish of the week turns out great too. So, be calling them up here in just a few minutes. And once I do that, the show will be rolling with the pre-show. So, got one more to go. There we go. That makes all the platforms, except for the radio stations, up and running. Let me take a look at this real quick here. That makes all the platforms except for the what's we got here? Looking at oh, it's looking good there, but what happened? I'll do this here and that. There we go. Very odd. Anyways, let me get the crew up, and then we'll work on some other things as we go along. Let's see here.
Hey, what up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good so far.
Okay. Yeah, just got a little more work done on my rig today.
Yeah?
Which is good. Yeah, I went down to the bottom of the pass and then just floored it all the way up, you know? Like, just laid on the gas as hard as I possibly could all the way up the pass, and boy, it didn't even move, you know what I mean? Like my temperature gauge just looking solid.
That's great. Because
yeah.
Because you mentioned before that, you run hot a lot.
Yeah, well, there was some things wrong with the rig, right? Things were done to it that I didn't know about, that once we discovered and reversed and fixed some other things, and then added I added a separate radiator for my transmission.
Ooh.
Right?
But that helped cool it down a whole lot, huh?
Yeah, because it just takes all that load off the engine,
Right.
the coolant of the engine. So, and yeah, just fixed everything, polished. I had a crack in my overflow for my coolant.
I don't know.
So we
You're
fixed
breaking
that
up,
and
you were breaking up there for just a little bit. Don't know what happened.
well, I was just saying that there was a crack in my radiator overflow tank,
Uh-huh.
and so I replaced that and got a new cap, a new radiator cap.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, now it seems like it's just dialed in. I hope, knock on wood. But hopefully it's just dialed in now, and I don't have to worry about overheating. I got to get back up to Colorado to really know.
You'll find out here in a minute. Well, next time you take a ride out that far.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, I will go south for the winter and drop like 6,000 feet to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So my next real big test will be next spring when I have to come back up to higher elevation. Yeah. But I'm feeling confident, though. I got a friend of mine who's happy to work on it, does a really good job. Yeah, he and I spend the summer and the winter on the same areas with the same people and whatnot. So I know I'll be bumping into him, or I'll be close to him wherever I go, which is kind of cool, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like down in southern Arizona where we set up shop down there, we're like, I don't know, a mile apart maybe.
What are you guys going to do when you get down there?
That's a good question.
And how long are you going to wait
I
before
don't even
you start
know.
to move, you know? Because I know fall is coming pretty quick now. But it's staying warm yet. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's cooler now, but it's not cold. The nights are surprisingly warm because I guess there's more humidity in the air now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised the last couple nights. I was like just perfectly warm. Almost too hot.
I went out last night just to, get some air, and I'm like, man, it was like so humid. And it must have been like upper 80s, lower 90s yet. I mean, and this was after 6.
Yeah.
Sun had already started dropping down. I'm like, man, I just want to go outside and hang out for a little bit, smoke, drink my coffee outside, get some air, fresh air instead of, house air. Yeah.
But I've got a lead on a winter gig that's with the National Forest. Well, I don't want to say too much about it, but it's
you don't want to jinx yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, if that comes through, it could be a good it'd be a totally different thing to do, but it'd be cool.
I seen Barry was lit up, but he wasn't joining. I guess when he gets ready, he'll just, say, hey, I'm coming in. I'll try him one more time.
What room are we in? Wednesday pre-show, so yeah.
Should be about time for Barry to come in. Yeah, there he is.
We gonna celebrate this party!
First
well, there you go, man.
Going down! Chaconi's going down, baby! The first deep state operative is going down, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news! Comey to go down!
All right, dude, I'm going to need you to bring some energy to the show tonight. You think you can do that? You don't sound like...
After that,
how could I not,
you think
man?
You can do that?
Let's get the groove going, man. Come on, everybody. Here we go. Snap our fingers out there. Celebrate good times. Come on.
Okay, Barry.
Gosh.
Hey, man. Look, celebrate the good times because, you know, it strikes and counter strikes.
Here I was thinking about taking the "Don't Sing Anymore, Barry" meme down that I throw up in the.
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah, you know, you I know, I know. You probably
Give me
just,
time. Give me a minute.
I'm just wondering if he'll actually stick around to I mean, I don't know that the charge is.
Well, we all know Fauci didn't. He's not around. He's not in country.
He's not. Is that for real?
Really?
That's from what I heard. He hasn't been in country for a while now.
Where is he?
I have no idea. I think Europe someplace.
Look at looking for favorable extradition treaties, right?
I think he's working on transgender. What do you call it? Transgender animal experiments.
We can only hope that you know, the Russians get to him first. All right.
So they'd hire him, dude.
No, they want to hang him.
You're very good at kill American.
They want to hang him publicly.
Celebrate good times. We're going to have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right. Oh, yeah.
What do we got for UK news? Anything from your buddy Keir Starmer?
Oh, yeah, it's fall.
I don't know. I'm opening all the tabs right now. I haven't looked at them yet.
The UK has fallen, my friend. Boy, I'll tell you what. Trump just excoriated London and the mayor over there. He excoriated him at the UN. Just ripped him a new one.
He wasn't invited to the state dinner that Trump had.
That's a good thing. I wouldn't invite that guy either. He's a treasonous traitor, usurper.
Mm-hmm.
As the great Yotivation would say.
Okay.
Kamala Harris calls Donald Trump a communist dictator.
That's pretty funny when her nickname is literally Comrade Kamala.
Yeah, and her dad's a communist, like economic professor or something.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, come on. Everything they do, dude. I'm just slamming the left on X, and I'm getting blocked by. I don't block any of the leftists that make weird comments on my posts, you know, or try to debate me. But I get blocked all the time from the left. They, you know, I'll make a comment, then they'll make a comment back, and I'll try to respond back, and I'm already blocked. And look, I'm completely civil. Like, I'm never belligerent. I just lay out the facts. I'm hardcore, but I'm never belligerent or, you know, disrespectful in any kind of a bad way. You know, I mean, I call it as it is, of course, but yeah. So I've just been, and that Brian Krasenstein, that dude, he's so easy to debunk. I love debunking him. I don't know if he sees my responses or not, but some of the stuff I'm leaving comments on, I'm getting more response from that on X than my actual posts. I'll get 18, 25 likes on a comment that I make, which is good because then I go and subscribe to them all, and then they subscribe to me now. So I'm getting a few more subscribers. But yeah, because their big spill is you know, Jimmy Fallon's back, Trump hates it, and 7 million people. I was like, yeah, that's because all the Republicans went over to watch the circus, man. You know, he'll be back to nothing in no time, and it's true. You watch and see, dude. He's not going to maintain 7 million followers for the next 6 months. It'll be back down to 200,000 or 300,000 people within 2 months maximum. You know what I mean? So they're so desperate, man. And then that Brian Krasenstein, he's like, another white shooter again. And I'm like, it's all like white people's problem. And he's white, by the way, which is kind of weird. And I said, so isn't it the left that hates ISIS, that's blocking ISIS, is violent towards ISIS? I mean, it's a lunatic leftist that did this, not a white person. It's a white lunatic leftist.
Yeah, exactly. It's you know, I've got so much to say about this tonight. I got the clips, I got the receipts, you name it.
I mean, we're winning, aren't we? Seriously. I mean, it's pretty clear that we're winning big time.
Yeah. It's crazy. And freaking Candace Owens, man, my God, you're nuts, woman.
What's going on with that lady?
I've said for the longest time that she is, and I don't think she's as bad as Nick Fuentes. He's worse. She's a shock jock, and she's into sensationalism. And I've said a million times over and over again, you don't have to sensationalize anything because everything is already crazy on its own. So there's no need to make anything up. Just tell the truth and tell it like it is, and that's sensational enough. But I look at people like Candace Owens and I look at people like Nick Fuentes, and Candace I can tolerate. Nick I cannot. That guy is so anti-Semitic. I mean, it's outrageous. You know, it's the Jews did everything. And look, I'm all for criticizing. You know me. I'm all for criticizing Netanyahu. I think if you really support Israel, you want whatever's best for the Israeli people, which I think means.
And I don't believe that he. You know, I think that Netanyahu, good old Bibi, wants to be king. I really do.
He's
been in power.
I believe he wants to be and is maneuvering himself to be king.
Yeah, off and on for like 25 years almost, I think. That's what
I
want to say it was probably
he had
96.
Was involved with the assassination plot of Menachem Begin and all that before.
Well, Trump said it clearly at the UN. You know, we got to end the war in Gaza. He said that today or yesterday, whenever it was. So, but of course,
listen to that whole speech.
That does involve, you know, them releasing the hostages, the Hamas releasing the hostages, even the dead ones. He said, you know, we got to. Yeah, I listened.
Have you guys listened to that whole speech?
I have, yes.
Yeah, it was well worth watching, man. It was classic Trump and like on fire.
You know what's funny? You know what's really funny, dude? This is honest to God truth. As he was walking up, I just got this vibe coming all over me, and I was like, you know what? If I was the globalist, I would sabotage. I literally thought this before he even got on the stage. I would sabotage his teleprompter.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, and then all of a sudden he said his teleprompter's not working. I was like, dude, they literally did exactly what I was thinking they might do if they really wanted to come after him. So
this the escalator, dude, how trivial can you be? You know, just trivial.
They're devils, man, demons. You know, these people at the UN, dude, they are without a doubt occultists of some kind. I don't know what they are, but they are dark occultists, dude. That's why they got all that weird symbology, you know, Shiva and the phoenix. You know, a lot of people see the phoenix as a positive symbol, and I guess it can be if that's the way you want to see it. But it really is an occult symbol about like Shiva, destroy everything to rebuild out of the ashes something brand new. Do away with the old order, bring in a new world order. That's what the phoenix represents. That's why you see the phoenix on fire at every single globalist event. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, these people are they're certainly into the symbology of the occult, you know, and everything about Washington, D.C. is the pagan gods. That's admitted in the Library of Congress. I forget which one of our founding fathers said that it was, you know, all of the symbology is based around paganism. Unfortunately, you know, but.
Yeah.
In other words, the gods, you know, the gods like of old, the mystery religions and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yep. I think Bill Gates is definitely one of those guys because he was down with Marina Abramovich, which I think is funny that the actual pronunciation of her name is Abramowitch. Not Abramovich, but witch. And that's, she said, very few people get that right. And I was like, well, I guess it kind of makes sense since your Twitter handle or whatever Facebook handle is Abramowitch 666. I mean, that makes sense, you know.
Mm-hmm. And What in German and many Germanic languages, it's the W is a V more or less. You know.
Yeah. Okay, I did not know that, but that makes sense. A lot of things are sometimes silent or something else. I get that. Yeah, makes total sense.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, have you seen her lately? She may not be getting adrenochrome anymore.
Oh yeah.
I saw this picture of her. Her face was like swollen, and she just looked really bad. And I'm not really saying she's not getting adrenochrome. I'm being funny, but maybe who knows? I don't know what's going on with that stuff. Who knows? I mean, Jim Caviezel did say, man, that they were bringing in that adrenochrome by the barrel to Steve Bannon. So I wonder, you know. And this is what Jim Caviezel said about his, you know, FBI informants told him that. So it's either true or they're spreading misinformation, which is also a possibility, you know. But apparently the barrels are full of baby parts and blood for adrenochrome. How wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm just trying to put some of these articles together here. Seems like we got a couple things to work with. Kamala Harris's book tour is insane, right? She's saying all kinds of crazy stuff.
Isn't it like I don't know? It's a few hundred pages, right?
I don't know.
I know it's 170 pages, I think, maybe more than that. And I'm like thinking to myself, I mean, what could you possibly say about yourself? You did nothing, you know? I mean, unless it's just she's just spilling dirt. Like that would be like 1,000 pages if she was doing that.
Yeah, she's doing some of that, you know, for sure. But it's just it's her word salad just written down on paper, you know, instead of orally.
So hopefully she had someone, you know, edit that. Because no one would be able to understand that.
Yeah, right.
How could they? Yeah. No way, dude.
God. I mean, that time she's talking to those kids and she's like, tonight you're going to see the moon with your very own eyes for the first time ever. You're going to see the moon. Remember that?
Oh,
I do.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Of course I do, man. Dude, unfortunately, I remember all of it. It just never goes away.
Yeah, it's more like a nightmare instead of do you remember? I'm like,
it's like, Mrs. Vice President, I've seen the moon before.
Yeah. You know what's really, you know, we've been talking about how the left just keeps getting more and more like reckless, saying stupid stuff, doing stupid stuff. Well, I saw this video, X, man. This one takes the prize, man. There's this transgender dude that thinks he's a woman, and he kind of looks like a woman, you know, like a fake woman with tons of makeup and fake boobs. But he's doing this video. He's very, very upset that no one will call him by his pronouns. He's like, it's she and her. Get it straight. Yeah. And she's wearing some male briefs, you know, the kind that has that little extra pocket for your anaconda. Yeah. So she's got an anaconda, and it's like filled that whole area up, and it's just, she's like, as she's speaking, it's just jiggling all around and stuff. And her name is literally, I kid you not, Angelique Anaconda. And I'm like, she did not think this video out, dude. You know what I'm saying? You come out there with your anaconda just, you know, and saying, I don't understand why people won't call me she and her. Well, duh. Duh. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I saw a similar one to that. It was in, I want to say Paris. It was an American like living over there. Is that the same one?
I don't know, man. She had on these, I don't, like I said, I can't unsee. It's the problem. I really don't want to describe it. She had on some blue men's, like, I don't know, those, not briefs, but underwear with the extra pocket. And I was just like, why would you do it? I mean, did you think this video through at all? Are you that clueless, you know? And then I was also thinking to myself, you know, he probably dates men, right? But does he tell those men that he's got an anaconda?
Well,
I'm just wondering.
It's in the name.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, you know, I was thinking of that is probably the worst, in my opinion, it is the worst nightmare of any straight male. To date with some dude like that, be maybe kissing and making out with them or something like that, and find out that, you know, Anaconda has an
You're
anaconda.
getting all hot and heavy, and you reach down, and all of a sudden you got a dick in your hand. It's like, the fuck? Oh my God, yeah, I would flip.
It'd just be the worst nightmare ever, man. And I don't mean to be mean, but I would vomit, dude. It literally, I would throw up in my mouth. It would be so disgusting.
Yeah, it'd be like, Jesus. Well, remember the Crying Game?
I do remember that movie. That was a weird movie, dude.
Yeah. I think I remember I did see it once, but that was so long ago. I can't remember. And I have no interest in watching it again.
Anyway, the left is doing bizarre stuff, man. And they're just getting weirder and weirder. And we got another shooter now again that was obviously a leftist lunatic. I mean, it just never ends, folks. I mean, I don't know. Things are getting hairy. Things are getting crazy. Just pray. That's all I say.
Let's see. So we got that. We're going to talk about the UN speech. That's probably the better part of the first hour for those two subjects alone, right? I mean, I've got enough clips so we can go through and you name it. We got the Tylenol stuff, and we got the shooter, right? And all of the people on the left that are promoting the violence against ICE. I got the clips. We'll play them all. Yeah, and then we got some Antifa stuff going on, and Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, the Jimmy Kimmel stuff is awesome. I'm so glad he's back because he's really helped the hashtag movement tremendously. And it's what I was saying, the delusions of the left. They really believe somehow, because of their narcissism and delusions, that they're actually winning now. It's really bizarre. And you look at all the ratings, the Democrats are tanking. Trump is at an all-time high on Rasmussen poll. He's skyrocketing in popularity. They're just in a different planet. They're on a different planet, and it's just shocking, the stuff that they do and say. Well, I think there's nothing more shocking than them killing people and, celebrating death and, inciting people to violence. There's nothing more shocking than that. But they're full of just all kinds of just shenanigans and weirdness and bizarro land. And I mean, it's going to go off the chart, man. It's going to feel like at times that we are living in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Like we're in an alternate dimension. Like you're going to have to pinch yourself and go, is this really happening? Is this really the world that we live in? That's how weird it's going to get. Before we have our ultimate victory, it's going to get like that. I'm pretty sure of it, dude. Because it's only amping up more and more each and every single day. There's no look, no one in the mainstream media is calling for civility. No one is condemning these people that are shooting, innocent people. So that
all right, guys, do you want to just use the same call and I'll just call you right back in here?
I don't care. You do what you do, Mark.
I mean, it's not like we have a guest tonight, so.
I'm going to hang up and you call me back when you're ready.
Give me another minute and then we can do that. Because I don't want us to get cut off before you go to break, okay? And still have enough time to say, hey, we got a couple more minutes and then boom. But yeah, just give me another minute here.
We gonna celebrate.
I'll take and do that.
Party with you, come on now. Celebrate. Gonna be a good time tonight, baby.
Uh-huh.
Cause that's the way. I like it. Do a little dance. Get down tonight. Get down tonight.
As soon as this clip goes, Barry, I'm going to end this call and call us right back on it.
Sir, right. You are the captain of this ship. You are in charge, and I am so proud of you, man.
Or something like that, right? Yeah.
Well, hey, you convince everybody you do, so hey, that's all that matters, right? Just make them believe it.
Making believe. Yeah, there we go.
Making believe. All right, man. Censorship sucks.
He
Wonder
already
Twin.
cut out. Yeah, he tweaks it. I'm like, come on, you don't have to leave right now. Okay, now we do. All right.
All right.
I'll catch up with you in just a sec. All right. All right. That was the pre-show. Get ready. We're gonna start up with the real show here in just a sec. Once I get Barry and John in the room, we'll get it going. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the show.
Yeah, pretty close. We're getting there. Oh, I'm gonna have to close my door. I hear Alex raging on Fortnite. Oh my God.
Alex Jones, I'm telling you.
Again.
But Alex, I'm telling you, but.
No, shot in the back.
James
Through the wall. How did they do it?
I'm telling you, I've been told from insiders within the government that James Comey is about to be indicted. But wait.
Yeah, right.
All right, change of plan. I'm going to slip in one additional article up front.
Okay.
You the boss.
About
on your
Google.
own show.
Yes, I've got my fist out. Are you ready? Put your fist out to my fist.
Well, it's the most relevant. It's the YouTube one. I got it. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Did you see that one I put up for YouTube? And Google?
From Breitbart?
I think that's where it was from.
Because that's the one I got up right in front of me here.
Come on, man. Put your fist out to mine right now, CS.
I got it out, man. Boom.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
Form of radio host.
Shape of radio host.
Shape of Rush Limbaugh and Alex Jones.
God. You picked two dead. No, you didn't. My bad.
Oh, yeah,
All right, you
Letitia
got 30 seconds.
Look,
and
James is getting ready to be indicted as well, they say
look
now.
out, cats, dogs, and kids then, you know.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Curtain climbers and crumb biggers, like my dad would say.
Bringing that hammer down.
Mm-hmm.
And here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you are live and on the radio side for the first time tonight. Right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition for September 24th, 2025. And what an interesting week it has been. With me tonight, I've got Bullhorn Barry on the mic. How you doing, Barry?
Oh, good times. Good times.
All right. Good times are had by all, folks. That's our goal tonight. Show everybody a really good time and put some information in your head, some analysis of what's going on in the world, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, from the UN to Kamala's new book tour. But since this is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, and the inception of my channel and all the content I follow, and my focus is on big tech censorship, I've got good news tonight. The Google has admitted that censorship occurred under Biden, promises to end ban of YouTube accounts of thousands of Americans censored for political speech. So there are thousands of channels out there that they silenced during COVID. They silenced over Russiagate. They silenced over all these different political events that occurred because they criticized the political reaction that our politicians had to what was basically a bad flu year. COVID was really, if you want to boil it down, it was a bad flu year, right? Yep. The numbers were nowhere outside of the realm of normality for casualties and whatnot. Thousands of people die from the flu every single year in flu season. I mean, tell me I'm wrong, Barry.
Oh, no. Sorry, I walked away from the mic for 1 second. Yeah, no, you're 100% correct, man. We have the Johns Hopkins medical study that came out showing that basically the flu disappeared, which meant that most of those people that were being diagnosed with COVID probably just had the common flu.
Yeah, it was a bad year. This one was a little bit more difficult than most flus, but we've had those before, and everybody just buckles up and you wash your hands a little extra and take care. You don't get in people's faces, and you get through it. You get through it. You don't have to shut down the world. And so when people went online and said, "Hey, man, they just shut down my school for another 2 weeks. What's going on? This is crazy. Kids don't really get affected by this, don't they?" Boom, banned.
You want to wear that mask, though, man. It's so liberating to wear that mask. Oh, Jennifer Garner's daughter was at the UN demanding that we mask up again because of the new COVID variant, man.
That's yesterday, right? I mean, like this week they're saying this stuff. Let's mask up everybody again because it worked so well last time.
Yeah. Oh, it was a total success.
Yeah. It wasn't an absolute nightmare that was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, nothing fraudulent about wearing one mask. Oh, no, maybe 2 masks better. 3, 4 masks. How about wearing a mask while you're jogging? How about wearing that mask when you're out and swimming in the pool or in the ocean?
Oh, or the dude who was on a stand-up paddleboard out in Santa Monica, all by himself on the ocean, and they come out and arrest the guy. Gavin Newsom for you right there, folks.
Only in the world of the upside down is that even possible, man. That's just so ludicrous and insane.
So this statement goes on to say, today, thanks to the oversight of Chairman Jim Jordan, Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off YouTube due to political speech violations on topics such as COVID and elections an opportunity to return to the platform. Google also admitted the following to the House Judiciary Committee. 1, the Biden administration pressured Google to censor Americans and remove content that did not violate YouTube's policies. 2, the Biden administration censorship pressure was unacceptable and wrong. And to number 2, I personally will add that they described people from the administration calling Google's offices and then screaming profanities at them for 5-10 minutes at a time until they acquiesced and got rid of the channel, right? So, I mean, they weren't nice about it. They were screaming profanities at these poor, well, I don't want to say poor, at these Google employees, filthy rich Google employees. 3, the company will never use third-party fact checkers, which is fantastic. 4, the company will never use, 5, European censorship laws target American companies and threaten American speech, including the removal of lawful content. So they're saying what they're doing in Europe is a threat to free speech over here because they're going to have to censor people off the internet in Europe alone, not in America. You're going to have VPNs get around. I don't know. It's really an asinine thing to do for Europe to think that they can just put a firewall around the internet and become China in a way, So
that's exactly what they're trying to do. Look, we support free speech. They support controlling all speech. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's going to be a resurgence of a lot of channels, folks. I was just watching one the other day where he's on a second channel he just recently created, but his original, it's like 17,000 people following him. He used to have 200,000 or so. And he was talking about how, this is great. If he can get his old channel back, that would just be fantastic. But will it be clean? Will it have little strings attached and marks and bad, points and all that kind of stuff behind it so that his new channel with 17,000 ends up getting way more views than his old one with 250,000 views? You put the same video on both of them and you get half on the old one because it's just shadow banned, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Elon Musk said you had a right to free speech, but you didn't have a right to the bullhorn effect, so to speak, that Twitter can give some channels.
Oh, I wonder how that would affect our buddy Josh Hu. Him and Rizzo both lost their channel.
Interesting.
I wonder if they got their channels back. It'd be great if we could take and get them in to talk about it.
Well, yeah, it would be great to see their channels back, man. They both do such good content. Rizzo does a weekly show. I think it's every Saturday night called oh God, what is it? Culture Cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's called
And
social cancer.
Okay.
Social Cancer. Okay, sorry about that. Social Cancer is what the name of his show. You can find it on Rumble. Rizzo, Rizzo is the name. He was one of my co-hosts for, I don't know, multiple years when this show first started. So we know him very well. And man, the content he puts out is spellbinding. You sit there and watch it, and it's the type of show you can't just like kind of listen to while you're reading. So you have to be focused on it, but you never like look away. You can't look away. It's just one thing after another. And he does such a good job of it. So I highly recommend that. Like it's, I don't know, hour-long podcast. It's just straight fire. And Josh Hu as well has just been he was a co-host of mine as well for quite some time, and was really well known on YouTube, over 100,000 followers. He just sat at that 99,000 follower thing forever. They would never let him. He would pick up 3, lose 3,000, pick up 2,000, lose 2,000. I mean, it just was this back and forth where they would never let him get over 100,000, because that opens up so many new opportunities for you as a content creator when you get over the 100,000 mark.
Yeah.
You know, so
they bottlenecked him.
yeah, they just they didn't want him to get to the next level but he was just picking up, subscribers all the time. So what do? You just you shadow ban, basically. You put him, you hide him away, and say, "Gosh, we hope this guy never, gets popular." But anyway, that's some good news on the censorship front, that we may be seeing a large number of content creators that we followed religiously up until they were canceled, and we might see them come back to YouTube. They'll all be reinstated. Everyone that was affected by Joe Biden's censorship will be returned to YouTube, and boy, are they going to have a lot to say. So that's going to get spicy, don't you think, Perry?
Oh, yeah. And speaking of fire, man, we should pat ourselves on the back, because one of the things that we've been saying and that we were forecasting would happen with the Trump presidency is that there would be a leveling of the playing field. And that people were probably going, yeah, I don't think so. And with Google censoring, YouTube censoring, bottlenecking, throttling, and all the stuff, Facebook and all the stuff that they do, the shenanigans, that's never going to happen. And now it's happening. Why? Because Trump is leveling the playing field. And that's going to really fare terribly for the left, because they don't want a fair playing ground, because they can't win. They're not winning with an unfair playing ground. So imagine if they have a fair playing ground, how bad they're going to fare.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Like when you stood up earlier for a second, I was just taking a sip of water the moment you stopped talking. So I was like, oh, hold on one second here. But anyway, let's get into some other news. Kamala Harris is doing a book tour, doing a lot of, interviews, and she had some very interesting things to say. Let's see. Here she is on The View. And I'm only going to play this last one of her because it just kind of sums up the whole thing. Here she is. RNC Research over on X posted this from The View. Kamala Harris desperately tries to separate herself from her own record as The View abruptly cuts to commercial. So listen to this.
I didn't fully appreciate how much people wanted to know there was a difference between me and President Biden. I thought it was obvious. And I didn't want to offer a difference in a way that would be received or suggested to be a criticism. And in the campaign, full time I was pointing out the differences. My theory of the case was we need to bring costs down. We're going to extend the child tax credit. We're going to have Medicaid. Wake up knowing what's happening in your community. We're breaking news.
So they literally just cut her off mid-sentence. We do this radio every week, right? And you don't have to cut people off mid-sentence like that. Somebody had to be screaming in her ear, hey, we got to go to break, going to break. And she just talked over them or whatever. And suddenly, boom, they just cut her off like that mid-sentence. Pretty funny.
Yeah, you love it, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I know it's hard to hear her voice, but and it's hard to hear Rachel Maddow's voice as well, but I'm unfortunately going to have to, I had to hear it, so you do too at home. But this is obviously from MSNBC.
A tyrant We used to compare the strength of our democracy to communist dictators. That's what we're dealing with right now in Donald Trump. And these titans of industry are not speaking up.
We're dealing with a communist dictator in Donald Trump.
Yeah. They're up to the old tricks that they used to do, man, and they think it's going to work. And Gavin Newsom was doing something actually quite similar as well. He's saying now that he truly and sincerely doesn't believe that we're going to have an election in 2028.
I saw that.
Yeah, so spinning wild conspiracy theories, and that's, like we've said on the air before many times, they have no platform whatsoever, so all they can do is just bash Trump, bash MAGA, and create wild conspiracies.
Here she is again on Rachel Maddow's show on MSNBC, explaining why she didn't pick Pete Buttigieg. Buttigieg. I don't know.
President to say that he couldn't be on the ticket effectively because he was gay. It's hard to hear. No, that's not what I said. That he couldn't be on the ticket because he is gay. My point, as I write in the book, is that
wait for it.
I was clear that in 107 days, in one of the most hotly contested elections for president of the United States, against someone like Donald Trump who knows no floor, to be a black woman running for president of the United States and as a vice presidential running mate, a gay man, with the stakes being so high, it made me very sad, but I also realized it would be a real risk. No matter how, I've been an advocate and an ally of the LGBT community my entire life. So it wasn't about
blah, 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 blah. She just basically said, I couldn't pick him because he's gay. And then said, oh, no, wait, no, that's not what I said. I picked him because as a black woman, it'd be too much of a risk to have a gay dude on the ticket. So in other words, as a DEI hire herself, she wasn't willing to pay that forward as another DEI gift to someone who's gay because that would be, quote unquote, too controversial with her base.
But the thing of it is, it wouldn't be controversial that he's gay. No. What's controversial is that he's weak, that he's terrible, that he did nothing with the position that he was given in the Biden administration, and he's probably completely incompetent.
And we have pictures that are not photoshopped, actual pictures of him breastfeeding a baby wearing fake boobs.
Yeah, I've seen it there at Southwest.
Disqualifying.
It's bizarre for sure.
And to boot, he was polling at somewhere around 0% with the black community.
Okay.
Right. So he's just a.
Kamala, she's just as weak as Pete, and the only reason she was stepped up was because that's who the globalists wanted to put in there. She wasn't the strongest candidate.
No. Yeah, she was appointed, man. She would have never won a primary on her own. So that's why she's not a threat in 2028. She could never win a primary on her own. She just doesn't have it in her.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. I mean, let's see. There's one last thing.
Let me say one last thing, but you got to hand them. They really believe they're still in the game. They really think they can pull it out, man. But we should talk about how demoralized they really are becoming. I don't know if you saw it on The View, where all the women on The View were talking about how they just feel like they're hopeless, helpless, and can't do anything, and that they're defeated, they're demoralized. And Whoopi had to give like a 5-minute speech trying to pep them up. There's a meme circulating on Twitter, X, and it was talking, and it had tens of thousands of, likes. And it was saying, I'm so tired of Trump. I'm tired of people pretending he's not an idiot. I'm tired of his lies. I'm tired of his sickening morality. I'm tired of his face, his voice, his smirk. I'm tired of his inability to say any one kind thing, and just going on and on about how they're broken. You know what I'm saying? And they're so defeated.
Because they believe the news and the garbage news that they spread. You know what I'm saying? If they just got out of the sand for a minute and started actually looking around at the world, and touched grass, as so to speak, go out and really just go around and look at the world, you'd find it's not that bad. In fact, you'd find it's doing pretty good under Trump. It really is,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Except for the crazy lunatics.
Well, and here's the thing. They have 3 more years, 3 months, and 29 more very, very long days of President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're tired now, weak and broken now, just imagine where they're going to be come 2028. When we have victory after victory after victory, and we're winning so much, we're going to beg Trump to please stop the winning.
Yeah, look at the midterms coming up. And it's interesting that the GOP is going to be having a convention. They had, did away with those a long time ago for the midterms, but I'm all for it. I think it's key to get out those key people in the certain races that really need to be pointed to and supported. And Trump will be out there in full force trying to make that happen so that he can have the Congress and Senate he wants handpicked for his second term. It'll be a beautiful thing. But in the last election, every single county in the country moved to the right. Do you remember that map?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every state, everything, all the way down, it all moved to the right. There wasn't one place that pulled to the left. And in other words, that did better with Harris than they did with Biden. They all did worse. And that's not an anomaly. That's just crazy out there. So I'm looking forward to the midterms, man. That's going to be a lot of fun to cover. And I think it's going to be a bloodbath, and I can't wait to see the polls. Well, more importantly, I can't wait to see the prediction markets, right?
Yeah.
That's where you go, folks. When you want to know who's winning, go to the prediction markets, right?
I'm going to make and I think that there'll be a lot of like low-level people trying to do fraud and do election theft, and they're going to get caught. It's going to be really embarrassing for the left.
Yeah. On election night this year, I was watching, New York Times. They've got all their coverage. I watched that because it's so far to the left that it's going to give you the worst case scenario as far as exit polls and all that stuff. But the predicted, I think it is, or one of the betting markets was the one that literally the odds of her winning went to like less than 1% a good half hour before any network called it. So basically, they'd already won your bet. Your bet was won as far as, a half hour before they called it, which, that doesn't go to 0%, from 50% down to like 0.2% for no reason. It's over.
Yeah.
She probably would have put her last dime on that bet at the last minute. But anyway, Kamala Harris also is having a bit of an issue. Are you blanking kidding me? This is a quote from her. "It was not about taking Trump's bait. He lies all the time, I told Brian. He throws out outrageous statements to distract from real issues. Today he wants me to prove my race. What next? He'll say I'm not a woman and I need to show my vagina?"
What? She said that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bizarre, man.
And I think that's a transcript from her book. But it's from Harris's book, courtesy of Greg Price 11 over on X. She said that. Now, what is kind of going over her head is that having a vagina does not make you a woman, according to her party. Okay, what she said there is pretty bigoted towards all the women with penises that eagerly and happily support the Democratic Party.
That's right, because biological men can have periods too.
Sure, they can have babies.
Babies, periods, you name it, man.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's why I call them a birthing person, not a mother.
Pap smear tests, you name it.
Yeah. I mean, the birthing person thing, oh gosh. What was it? I don't know. Steven Crowder went into a Planned Parenthood with like a skirt on and a shirt and said he was pregnant and he wanted a abortion. Did you ever see that one?
I missed that.
Yeah,
there were a lot of people that gave a lot of support.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was. They were so nice to him, but at the end of the day, it was like, hey, I don't think you're pregnant, ma'am. But anyway, let's use that to transition into Bridget Macron. what? I was talking before about Candace Owens, man. This woman is insane. She says she's going to make Bridget McCrone submit to medical exam for trans claim. And mind you, okay, there's some weird stuff going on with her background, but at the same time, I highly doubt she's a dude. I just pretty much well doubt it. And if she is, who cares at this point? You know, you're going to make her go to some doctor to prove it? I don't know. I mean, she's suing you over it, so you're going to fight back, but this is ridiculous. It's just getting ridiculous. This headline, Candace Owens says she'll make Bridget McCrone submit to medical exam for trans claim. That's a headline with your name in it.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
if I saw that headline with my name in it, I'd drop everything and be like, I'm sorry, let's just end this. I'll do an apology. This is ridiculous.
She's a typical shock jock trying to get views, and she's really, a good avid reporter if she wants to be, and she should be covering stuff that's like really, really important. Not, I mean, this is kind of a circus, and there's a lot of people that are like that. They just go for the clicks and the views, and they want to get the people that think, oh, I've got some secret hidden knowledge that no one else has, and everybody else has got it wrong, but I've got it right, and it's a bunch of nonsense. It's shock jock stuff, man, and we really don't have a space for it if you want to move the needle forward. If you want to move the needle forward, man, you need to talk about the hardcore issues, and there's a whole bunch of them out there. I would say number one is, we need to be aware of the psychopaths on the left that think they're violent revolutionaries and want to start shooting people.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of time left in this segment of the show, but trust me, we're going to get into some of these psychos because there are some lunatics running around this country, and they're being fed a narrative that it's like we were talking about with The View. They believe it, man. They're being fed all these lies, and they believe them, and they act on them. And I will show you the catalyst and why they're behaving with such genuine authority when they're lunatics. But they think it's okay to go shoot up people, It's
beyond vitriol. It's violent.
Yeah.
I'm saying they really want to hurt people, and that's scary.
Yeah, so let's go to break, folks. This is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable radio show. We'll be right back after this.
All right, we are on radio break.
Celebrate!
Good times, come on. Do, 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 do.
Yes, sirree.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
Yep. We're going live, ladies and gentlemen, and you gotta love it. See what I got here.
Yeah, what you got?
Mic check. Mic check. Does my voice sound big? Do I sound big? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show.
Live from the county fair.
Live from the county fair. Bring up cattle number one. Look at the size of the thighs on that cow.
Okay.
You know how they always have the cattle? Never mind. That's probably not the state fair. That's a different fair. What do they call that?
You get the
The
county,
horses,
the
horses, the cattle, and it's a fair. They all gather together.
I don't know. 4-H Club did some of that stuff.
Tonight, the monster trucks on KMOD 75 FM. Never mind. I quit. I quit, man. I'm not ever doing it again. It's just that simple.
Right. I'm going to start believing you like I believe Willie.
Yeah. How about the grandma that took to beheading the Trump pinata doll, and she was wearing a shirt that basically said, I don't know, I'm a Christian, be kind to others, or something like that. And I was thinking to myself, I can feel the kindness and the compassion in every blow, And she was going ballistic. This grandma was. She was like trying to decapitate the Trump pinata, and she was just so full of anger and hate. Why she's wearing a shirt saying, love like Jesus, be compassionate and kind. And I'm like, what are you doing, woman? I guess that's the left's definition of love, you know?
Yeah.
Then you had that, what was it? A riot fest in Chicago. I guess like a bunch of different kind of, maybe hard rock, gore rock. I don't know, but they had a Trump where they deboweled him, blood splurting out again. Like they're really working hard to, you know, get people to turn violent, man. I mean, in the blood, and it's splurting out, you know, like, you know, I don't know, 10 feet out of his bowels after they, you know, take this Trump mannequin thing and pull out his guts, and he's spewing all over the crowd, and the crowd's cheering. I mean, that can't be good. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. Maybe, you know, the gore rock or whatever, but right now, man, that's not a really good decision. You know, with Trump having been tried to kill twice, and then of course Kirk, you know, and all that blood that was spurting out of his neck. You know, it's reminiscent of that. I mean, it's almost like they're trying to get people into a blood frenzy. It's kind of sick, man.
Yeah. Okay. I think I will play that. I had a clip here from Carlin Borisenko on Fox News.
Ooh. Haven't had her in a while.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
She puts out a lot of stuff on X, though.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah, she was a great guest.
Mm-hmm.
We had her on when she was the Libertarian candidate for the governor of New Hampshire.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just censorship and Rizzo with her. Anyways,
Wow.
Here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition, September 24th, 2025. And we got all kinds of good stuff going on. I guess let's talk about Antifa first. Now, Donald Trump has just designated them a terrorist organization. And I mean, it's about time. For 15 years, they have been terrorizing any conservative groups, any church groups, anything that tries to do a prayer meeting, a vigil for Charlie Kirk, you name it. You do any type of a Patriots march, let's go on Flag Day and go through the park and, have 1,000 people carrying flags. We'll get permits for it and everything. It'll just be a beautiful thing. No, it won't be a beautiful thing because Antifa will show up and they will fight you. And the police will do nothing to stop them. They could care less what Antifa does. And if they do arrest a few of them, poof, they're back out in the streets in a couple hours and they've got all their legal bills paid for. There's big money organizing and paying for these revolutionaries to be out on the streets harassing any organization that is to the right of, I don't know, Mao. If they hate everybody. And they go out and and they're black blocs. They all wear the same black outfits, head to toe with a hoodie, cover their face, cover everything. And then they commit a crime and then go back in the crowd. And the cops have no idea who did it because they're all dressed exactly the same. And it's high time they get designated as a terrorist organization. What say you, Barry?
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising that it hasn't happened yet. And, the police would sometimes, instead of separating the protesters from the counter protesters, they would make sure that their paths had to cross in these liberal leftist hellscapes on purpose to cause a skirmish. And most likely, most of the time, of course, Antifa would start it. But then in the newspaper and the media, they would blame, the right wingers.
Yeah.
They were defending themselves, but in reality, they go, oh, they started it, And so it's kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm finished. Go ahead, man.
Well, no, exactly. You're right. We saw that firsthand during the Unite the Kingdom rally with Tommy Robinson in the UK, that massive rally. They kettled a bunch of people and then led Antifa and a bunch of anti-counter protesters right into them. And of course, it, escalated. And all the footage then made the Patriot side look bad. It made them look like the bad guys, and that's how they cover it every single time. It's just
It's
anyway.
very similar and akin to like how they put in agent provocateurs to provoke, the good guys. They'll bring somebody in to throw rocks and do something. But generally speaking, because we're not violent, we'll go, hey man, that's not who we are. I mean, this is reported and recorded multiple times and then they'll walk away. These agent provocateurs that are many times actually being, funded and directed by the government.
Oh yeah, and the one time they went out and showed their faces and didn't hide was January 6th. They all put on Trump hats and led. They were the tip of the spear in a lot of cases that led to the instigations and the violence on January 6th, and it was done by design. Right? No joke about it. They did it. They knew what they were doing, and it made the patriots that were there on January 6th look bad. And I mean, you can't convince me otherwise that I can't prove it, but you can't convince me otherwise that, a good percentage of the most violent people at the front of those rallies were Antifa, because they've been training, they've been doing this forever. I watched one guy bashing on a window, and the way he was bashing on the window it said Antifa all over it. I've seen them do that 100 times to different storefronts and whatnot, and it was just the same energy, the same way. I can't really describe it better than that. But I mean, I just looked at the guy and I'm like, that guy's too violent to be like on our side. It's just a different mentality with them,
Yeah. And, it's just to kind of create a frenzy and get people worked up, and then maybe, unfortunately, one or two people that, wouldn't have done it otherwise join in. And that's kind of how it happens. But that's what they're hoping for, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of times we will point at them and say, hey, that's FBI, or that's an agent provocateur. I mean, we did it with the main guy, the guy that was behind the whole thing that barely got a spank on the wrist. And it took the Biden administration, a year and a half before they even indicted the guy. But yet they were indicting people that never even went into the Capitol, that did nothing violent, that were just standing there peacefully.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to remember that guy's name. He had lived down in Arizona, older guy. We're going to go into the Capitol. You must go into the Capitol.
Capitol, yeah.
Yeah.
What a moron.
And everyone's like, well, what about this guy? How come he hasn't been arrested yet? If you're going to throw the book at everybody, how's this one guy just totally getting away with it?
Well, even in his emails, he admitted he instigated and led the whole thing.
Yeah.
But apparently that's not enough evidence for the Biden administration. Why? Because he was a mole put in there probably by the FBI, just like the FBI put in Ahmad Salam for the first World Trade bombing. Look it up.
That's what it sure looked like at the time, that guy was there being, paid by the government to provoke everyone and to try to make January 6th as bad as it possibly could be. Let's admit it, man. They're still to this day gripping to January 6th. Any conversation you have, January 6th. What was that, 5 years ago now? Come on, man. Like, you're still, that's the only thing you have to point to. After all these, all of human history or American history, that's the one thing you can point to. Oh, well, it was worse than Vietnam. It was worse than Pearl Harbor. No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all.
It wasn't even an insurrection.
Yeah,
that's the problem. I mean, there were some bad actors, and those people probably should have got, whatever would be coming to them. Probably if you treated them the same way you treated BLM and Antifa, they would have been out in a month.
Yeah, it's ain't that the truth? But anyway, let's listen to Carlin Borisenko, who's a friend of the show. I've had her on here, I think, twice in the past, and very interesting, great lady. I'd love having her on. I'd love to have her on again. I should probably reach out to her, but let's see what she has to say about Antifa, because she is sort of the really doing a bunch of undercover work to get inside their organization, find out what they're about.
Carlin Borisenko is an undercover investigative journalist for Decode the Left who's infiltrated these terror cells. Carlin, tell me about how these people train. They look pretty militaristic.
Yeah, absolutely. They do have sessions where they bring in people with military experience. Anti-war is a very big thing for Antifa, so they do hand-to-hand combat trainings. I was just undercover with them in New York City over the weekend, where they had a whole self-defense class where they were teaching people how to violently, confront the police, but also defend themselves if they needed to be put in that position.
And why do they always get out of jail so quickly? You see all these people get popped, they get bailed right out, and charges never stick. How is that?
Well, Antifa, actually, they train people on how to get arrested. And it's interesting with far left subcultures because they actually volunteer to get arrested and go through this type of training where they are provided legal support, they are provided lawyers, they are provided all of this stuff with mutual aid. And so as soon as they get arrested, Antifa basically goes down to the jail and they bail them out, and they are all set up with a lawyer and ready to go. So they plan all of this stuff out ahead of time, and they have the resources set up for people to be able to be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, obviously someone's paying for their legal representation. What is the core mission of Antifa? Is it anarchy? Are they anarchists?
Yeah, Antifa are anarchists. Their primary goal is the violent overthrow of the federal government. I cannot emphasize this enough. We've been hearing a lot of talk about civil war over the last couple of years between Democrats and Republicans, red versus blue. I firmly believe that the real civil war we have coming is the radical revolutionary socialists and communists in Antifa versus the federal government. That is their goal. That is their only goal. And people need to start taking this problem very, very seriously.
Yeah. Are they? I mean, he just designated them a terrorist organization, and it sounds, from what I'm hearing, like that's a good thing. That's a real good thing. They're trying to overthrow the government. We talk about this all the time, Barry, that they got to collapse everything first before they can rebuild it.
Yeah, and we've said 100 times or more that a lot of these people are radical, violent revolutionaries. They think they want to, like you just said, burn it all down so they can bring in their little communist, leftist, globalist, liberal world order.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because if you look at a spectrum of political ideas, you got the left and the right, and then all the way over at the very end of the right, you have the anarchists. They're not on the left, and anarchy has nothing to do with the authoritarianism of the left, right? It's anarchy that's all the way to the right. It's the opposite of, say, a religious monarchy. Is anarchy, no rules. We all just kind of figure it out and get along, And what they're trying to trigger is nothing more than a global governance, where we, as America, are rebuilt and then immediately, say, join the EU or something along those lines, and then give up all our powers to them. And then, the EU suddenly takes over, Africa, South America? And suddenly it's a global government.
You couldn't be more right, because Trump was just at the UN and he was reiterating over and over in that speech that we are the United States of America and a sovereign nation. And he encouraged other nations to be sovereign too, and to secure their borders and take sovereign action to protect their people. Yeah.
And I definitely want to do a deep dive into the UN speech, because I don't know. You said you watched it the other day. I did too. It was some of the best classic Trump I've ever seen.
100%.
Oh, well, when you talk about Trump hitting on all cylinders, man, that UN speech was straight fire.
He excoriated them, man. Absolutely excoriated them.
Right to their face. But anyway, let's get to that in a little bit. I still have a one more thing I want to talk about here, which is the Antifa is the militaristic, on the grounds, army for the Democratic Party, for the left. There's no way around it. They target anybody conservative. Antifa, man, they've attacked so many campus, turning point events.
Yep.
There was that one recently where, what is it? The cop guy, Officer Tatum.
Yep, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was in Sacramento, and I mean, they tore his table out from him, his chair, you name it. And then he kind of pushed one a little bit, and the little dude went flying about 30 feet.
Yeah. Which is, I got a question for you, because, she was saying that they're being trained in hand-to-hand combat and how to defend themselves. But they're some of the weakest, most pathetic people you've ever seen. They can't defend themselves. So they're getting training, but the training isn't sticking. They're not very tough. You know what I'm saying?
The training is just, how to maybe if you're getting pushed to the ground, how to maybe grab someone's arm and take them with you or something. It's not about like, let's go to the gym and pump iron for the next 6 months.
I mean, obviously,
Right?
obviously
Yeah.
they don't know how to, even do a fist fight. I've seen, people
Yeah.
less stature, take them on in self-defense and win. They're really weak. and
Oh, yeah. There's that classic scene from Portland where I don't know, some Antifa guy tries to take his flagpole, which is really a weapon. It's a flagpole, sure, if the cop asks, but it's a weapon. He tries to swing it at some guy, and the dude just clocks him and literally sends him back about 5 feet on his back. I mean, he dropped him like a stone.
You see that a lot, actually.
Mm-hmm. But the left, this is their on the ground, boots on the ground. This is their mobile army that they can deploy anywhere they need to. When they need to get a BLM riot going full tilt in Minneapolis, bam, a bunch of kids from Portland get on a bus and drive out there, all expenses paid, and they instigate it all. They're trained dissidents. They're trained to do this, and so. It's amazing to see this kind of a conversation again with Kamala Harris and Rachel Maddow on MSNBC just yesterday. Listen to this.
We've also now, in an executive order today, we've got the president describing Antifa, the anti-fascist. It's not even really a movement. The anti-fascist tactics of a portion of the protest movement as a domestic terrorist organization. What is your reaction to those things? What do you think the appropriate response is to things like that?
Well, in normal times, we should and could expect that our courts would step in when asked to declare the legality or illegality of what the president is doing, because civics 101, we all know we designed our democracy through 3 co-equal.
And she used to be the attorney general for what, California?
She cannot even spit out the words, man. She's like, and the court should. I mean, she is not there. She has no capability to even answer the question, because the answer in itself is absurd.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And it's interesting how they don't even know what it is. It's some idea, or it's a few people that do something or something. I don't know. It really has.
It's insane, dude. I don't get it. They could go out probably and shoot 5 or 6 people and they would still be defending them. It's totally bizarre. We've talked about how the left just supports some of the most unscrupulous people on the planet, and they do it openly. They don't even hide it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, they were in Minneapolis the other day protesting. Michael Knowles was doing a TPUSA event. And they were in there, getting in their faces, doing the things they do. And it's just disgusting, man. It's been 2 weeks now since, Charlie was assassinated. And it's a TPUSA event. Why not maybe go in and see what they have to say? How bad is this thing? Right? Listen to them. Debate them. Get up on stage and prove them wrong. Take them down with words.
They don't want civil discourse. That's the last thing they want. We talked about that on the show last week. The reason they don't want civil discourse is because, like we said earlier, they want to burn everything down. They don't want to solve any of the problems. They don't want to civil. They don't want to have bipartisanship. They want to create something totally new. They want to rebuild. That's what Build Back Better actually means. Destroy the old order, which is absolutely fantastic. Americanism, the Constitution, free speech, free will, freedom, prosperity, opportunity, all of that stuff. They want to do away with that.
Bill of Rights, yeah.
Civil rights, absolutely. Free will.
I mean, the Bill of Rights alone is like so unique to the world.
Exactly.
No one has a Bill of Rights like we do. It's just such a powerful, amazing, and important thing. And to try to, the first thing they do is get rid of the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, shred it, put what in its place? Well, I don't know. Chairman Xi gets to just run everything. He gets to run the whole world. How's that sound? We'll just give over the whole world to China. He can run it all.
I think they would be happy with that. Some of those people, they really would.
It's insane. Oh God! And then we can get into some of the reasons why these people are doing it. Well, okay.
Let's one thing here real quick too, because I think Glenn brought it up, and I totally agreed with him. It just resonated as truth. I mean, really, one of the main reasons that they killed Charlie Kirk, besides for his faith and for being a truth teller, was because he was a civil rights leader. And they don't want discourse, right? And I think that that's what they're coming after, is people that want to have civil discourse. And, you know, his whole civil right movement was, hey, let's have free speech. Let's have civil discourse. How is that a bad thing in any free society?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, these people are just so far out there, and the things that they're justifying are just horrible. You know, it really it's who can be behind this stuff?
Did you see the two white dudes that went to the historical black college university, and they chased them out screaming and screeching? They sounded like those leftist counter protesters that sounded like they were demonically, incited, and they were just like, it was insane. They were just like shouting and mocking and screaming, and all they wanted to do was simply have civil discourse. They just set up a table, made a couple of comments, and said, prove me wrong. Let's talk. And they chased those two white people out. And look, I'm not saying all black people are racist towards white people at all, not even remotely, because I'm sure at that historical black college, there's a lot of black people there that are Trump supporters. But that specific group was clearly leftist, and they were clearly full of hate and racism towards these two white people. And they were mocking them and, screaming and screeching like demons. It was, you got to see it. I mean, to believe it, it's crazy, dude. So they don't want civil discourse. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, well, they didn't get a permit. They didn't get permission. And then the school even wrote a letter saying, oh, yeah, everybody acted and behaved properly. Well, you go watch the video. I mean, we can play it right here on the air, man. And it was insane, just screaming. And I mean, if I was those two white guys, I would feel somewhat threatened, because it was, they're surrounding around him and getting in his face and screaming and screeching. And it's totally out there.
Yeah. And here, I got some clips from some people that show you why the left is feeling empowered to kill Charlie Kirk, to assassinate the man, right? To do anything, whatever it takes to. Here's Tim Waltz. Listen to this.
Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans, wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons. No chance to mount a defense, not even a chance to kiss a loved one goodbye. Just grabbed up by masked agents, shoved into those vans, and disappeared. To be clear.
Okay. Here's Gavin Newsom, a little long-winded.
That's happening in the United States of America. Masked men jumping out of unmarked cars, people disappearing, no due process, no oversight, zero accountability happening in the United States of America today. People ask, well, is authoritarianism, you're being hyperbolic? We're being hyperbolic. If you're a black and brown community, it's here in this country. And so I'm...
Yawn. Okay, look, if I go to Mexico, Barry, you go to Mexico and just move in. Just go and, just live there, find a good place on the beach and just, live there and don't ever leave, It will take them, I think you get 6 months there before you have to, get an extension. If you're there for 6 months and 5-6 days, they're going to find you and they're going to send you to the border. They're going to send you back to America. Every country in the world has immigration laws. And if you break those laws, they scoop you up and deport you. It's done everywhere on the planet. This isn't some crazy thing Trump invented, Yeah. And, let's see. There was a shooting today at the Texas ICE facility. And somebody wrote, anti-ICE on the bullets. They engraved things into the bullets to leave a mark to say, hey, we were shooting at ICE, but they missed the ICE agents and actually killed someone in their care. So nice shot, Here's Pritzker, really quick.
People are being grabbed. and they're being thrown into vans. And that's different than questioning people. And oh, by the way, I want to ask a question to everybody who's listening and to you. Do you carry with you citizenship papers? How do you prove?
Yeah, I've got a driver's license. I'm American. I live here. How do I prove? They're not picking people up and.
Well, they make it like it's random, like they have no idea who the people are and blah, blah, blah. And give me a man. And I don't understand it because Obama deported 5 million people under his administration, and Trump has barely done 2 million. So, it's all a charade. They want to paint the picture that Trump is racist and all this kind of stuff. It's a bunch of nonsense, man. We really need to get past the whole, everything is about color with the left, I don't see color. We just need to see Americans. You know what I'm saying? We're just all Americans.
Exactly. If you are an American, we're all Americans. Yeah, exactly. We're all humans at the end of the day. And their talking points are just one and the same. Now let's go to the absolute biggest lunatic out there in politics, Jasmine Crockett.
But as somebody who understands history, when I see ICE, I see slave patrols. Now, I never lived through the slave patrol period, but if you know the history of policing in this country, then you understand that they were born out of slave patrols.
I mean, what a lunatic. They were born out of slave patrols. I could play some Eric Swalwell engaging in instigating, violent acts, but I won't because this guy's just an idiot. It goes on and on. I've got 5 more of these I could play for you right now of people out there in prominent positions in politics calling these people Gestapos, calling them Nazis. And it's disgusting because somebody picked up a gun today, as they did last month and the month before, and tried to kill some ICE agents. That's they killed Charlie Kirk because, he's a Nazi.
Yep.
I saw a woman talking about.
Was saying that it was a MAGA supporter again. So they just literally spread misinformation and disinformation. And Brian Krasenstein said another white male goes and does another killing. A white male? No, it was a lunatic leftist. It was a white male, but a white male lunatic leftist who did it.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't a MAGA supporter. Who is it that hates ICE? Who is it that's been violently attacking ICE? Who is it that has been imposing ICE at every single turn? It's the lunatic left. No MAGA supporter is going to go out and shoot ICE. That is totally insane.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're literally at war with the cartels in America on the American streets. They're literally at war with them. And the left is just, I don't know, man. And I'm not saying everyone on the left. There's a lot of normal people on the left that just don't pay attention enough.
Right. They know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. I voted Democrat forever, and that's what I do. And whatever. I don't like Trump. That's for sure. Trump is an orange man. He's very, very bad.
Or they just heard one side of the narrative. They've just heard the left side of the narrative. They haven't heard the truth yet. So they just all the stuff that the left is spewing is probably true. That everybody, it's another white MAGA supporter, probably white supremacist, racist, probably was hoping he shot black ICE officers instead of white officers, just make stuff up out of the blue, but in reality, it was a leftist lunatic that had anti-ICE written on the actual bullets. And we have the FBI reporting that, yes, it was a leftist lunatic, but the facts don't matter to these people. They really don't.
Mm-hmm. Let's listen to the other side here. This is J.D. Vance speaking today. This is just.
We going to break?
Oh, yeah, let's do that. We'll come back with more. Folks, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back after these messages. Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Yeah, we're a minute late, but we're okay.
Yeah, thanks.
You get you didn't have to go over because you get a whole extra hour today if you want.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Jack's wife isn't feeling well. And I think he's taking her to the doctor right now, and he's like, "Can you play an encore for me?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'll make it happen for you." And I'm like, "Okay."
I'll leave that up to Barry.
Okay, yeah.
You want to do another hour?
Maybe so.
All right, we've got another hour to decide, I guess.
you know, or you can just do it like an after show. You know, because that part won't be on the radio side. It'll just be on the video
I
side.
see what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so it wouldn't be on the radio. We'd just be on the after show.
Yeah,
I'll probably pass on
yeah,
that.
because I didn't have enough time to set up breaks for doing like a third hour for you, but I did slide in his encore because I just happened to have one that I could pop up real quick.
All right, maybe I'll hang out with you for a little bit. I don't think Barry would want to though. And we got to switch rooms here in like about a minute.
Yep, very, very soon. We're going to get cut off. In fact, if you want to, you can go ahead and clear out now, and I will pick you back up on the same one. All right, Barry, hang up. There we go. Gonna end this one, and I'm gonna take us over and get us back up and rolling for part 2, hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable radio show. That's right, a Dragus production. Get those guys in here. What the hell was that?
Barry's flying a kite.
He might.
I'm ready for pickleball tomorrow, dude. Tomorrow is pickleball. Pickleball.
Pickleball.
Yeah.
I've never played that. Looks fun, though.
Dude, it is. Oh no, it's so fun, dude. I'm 3 hours straight competitively, dude. It is. I'm getting good too, man. I was just like hammering it away. It was so fun.
Huh.
And this will be my 4th time. I'm going every week on Thursday nights. But the first night, man, I was so sore for a week because you just use muscles you don't normally always use, you know, because you're doing a lot of.
You ain't a kid anymore, Barry. You gotta, you know.
No, my body, dude, it's totally like it can handle it now. So I was, you know, the first thing came to my mind was like, I hope this has nothing to do with being 60, and it didn't. So I felt 28 now, but that first week I felt 60. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I just want to let you guys know that the Great Conspiracy and Roger Hansen are both restreaming us tonight. Thank you very much, fellas.
Nice. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Jimmy Kimmel returns, draws 6.2 million. Good for him, man.
Yeah. All right.
Also in the
news, talk about Tylenol.
Important news today. I'm sure it's so important because we need to know about the Holly Weirdos. Nicolas Cage threw his $60,000 engagement ring to Lisa Marie Presley overboard a boat during a fight. So important to know that. You need to know that, folks. That's so important. That's top headlines for sure.
Yeah. Gosh.
Let's look over some of these fake news top articles that's on MSN. Man arrested at Travis Kelce's home after trying to serve Taylor Swift deposition. Whoopi Goldberg. We'll pass on that.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson says late dad Rocky completely crossed the line. More celebrity stuff. Sean Penn reacts to political violence around Charlie Kirk shooting. Not surprised. Something I don't get the whole headline.
Yeah, after all his violent rhetoric, he's probably not surprised.
Yeah, because he probably fueled it.
Mm-hmm. Of course he did.
Oh, here's a good one. This is a top headline from the Associated Press. This is really important, folks. Emily Blunt, the actress, interrupts Dwayne Johnson in a red carpet interview. That's super important, folks.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
No.
she?
Come on. That's.
Who
that's.
is she?
I mean, that's.
I'll have
that's
to
breaking.
ask Deb. Deb probably tell me.
I think she's like from the UK. I think she's Europe.
I think that is the most disgusting thing. The very people who keep.
Sorry, I just want to see how long this was.
No,
From
it
the
actually
Irish-
was appropriate, you know.
Here's one for you. Madonna. Madonna's in the headlines, in the fake news headlines.
Okay, maybe it was too soon.
She slams Pope Leo's gospel message in viral Instagram comments. I don't know, surprise there.
Viral or toxic?
Toxic. Watch Robert De Niro mock Donald Trump for autism claims.
Oh, yeah.
There's another important article. I mean, these are the top stories, folks, on MSN.
Mm-hmm. And those aren't Trump claims. They're from the Harvard University's medical school.
Oh, there's a ton of different medical studies based on.
And Tylenol themselves they've got tweets out from years ago saying, yeah, pregnant women shouldn't take our product.
Well, folks, here's something
people don't know. They just don't know any better.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they
used to say, oh, if the baby's teething, rub Tylenol on their gums.
Yeah.
They used to have another one too, but that might have been more addictive or something. I can't remember what it was called. It was kind of the same kind of lidocaine or something like that.
It was the Tylenol Plus with morphine.
No. I mean, before they used Tylenol and that, they had this other one. I think it was like lidocaine or something like that. It was like a really watered down version of Novocaine or something like that. Remember, you could get it in the store as a gel and put it on your gums for a tooth or gum ache.
Yeah. Mark, that's fake news.
Then they were like, oh no, you can't use that anymore. You should be using Tylenol.
Dude, come on. The lefts are taking full bottles of Tylenol while they're pregnant and getting
I'll tell you, when I was in the service, when I was in the military, everything, you got an ache or pain, here's your Tylenol. 500 milligrams or 1,000 milligrams. 30 seconds, guys.
Let's get back to some real news. Tori Spelling recalled her date with a charming Charlie Sheen and the gnarly part that ended their fling. Let's talk about that. That's real news. That's hard-hitting real news on MSN.
All right, and here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you are live and back on the radio side for the second hour right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable radio show, Wednesday night, September 24th, 2025. And in our previous segment, we were just covering all the violent rhetoric coming from the left and just showing, I don't know, Barry, the vitriol, the dripping hatred they have for ICE, to call them Gestapo and Nazis, when, I mean, most of ICE is Hispanic, just to, get that out there.
Well, yeah, I guess the left's racist. I don't know.
Yeah, right. So J.D. Vance is trying to take it down a notch. Here's what he had to say today. Go.
And I think that is the most disgusting thing. The very people who keep us safe ought to be honored and protected and praised by Democrats and Republicans alike. It is time to stop the rhetorical assault on law enforcement. Because here's what happens. Because here's what happens when Democrats like Gavin Newsom did say that these people are part of an authoritarian government. When the left-wing media lies about what they're doing, when they lie about who they're arresting, when they lie about the actual job of law enforcement, what they're doing is encouraging crazy people to go and commit violence. You don't have to agree with my immigration policies. You don't have to agree with Donald Trump's immigration policies. But if your political rhetoric encourages violence against our law enforcement, you can go straight to hell, and you have no place in the political conversation of the United States of America.
Bam.
He nailed it. They have no place in the political discourse, man. You cannot have political discourse with people that are so far out there that they've left reality and they don't even understand basic common reason.
Mm-hmm. Which is what we're seeing a lot of, We're seeing a lot of this. I mean, okay, just another example, another article I have pulled up here. Ryan Ruth found guilty on all charges. Okay, so homie's going to jail probably for the rest of his life. You know what he did when he heard the guilty verdict?
Yeah, he tried to stab himself.
Yeah, he took a pen off the table and tried to stab himself in the neck with it.
Yeah, it's kind of par for the course. We kind of should expect the unexpected and the bizarre from, the people that are on the extreme left. I mean, they just do weird stuff kind of all the time now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, he's probably got good reason, because look at the prison population. It's like any other population. You're going to have people who support Trump and people who hate him, And I bet there's a lot of really bad guys in prison who support Trump. And if you go into their prison, it's almost like a gang kind of thing. You know what I mean? You're the dude who tried to kill our guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just against all forms of violence, so I hope that doesn't happen. But I do think that it is a risk, And I see this meme around. Have you seen the one with Roseanne? Not Roseanne Barr, but what's the other one? The crazy one?
Not Roseanne Barr, the other crazy one?
Yeah, the one that left the country.
Oh, yeah. What's her name? Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell. Yeah, there's this meme out there, that she's being attacked by sharks, and they're like, what would you do to help her or throw to her to help? And everybody's like, I wouldn't help her. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't stand her, but yeah, I would help her. I'm not evil like the left, I would try to save her. It doesn't mean I wouldn't criticize her or, think fondly of her, but I'm not evil. Like, I do want to help somebody.
Yeah.
I don't care what their political party is or how hateful they are. My job is to love everybody equally.
Well, I don't want to see anyone be eaten by a shark. I would certainly help her out of the water. That's just ridiculous. Oh, I'd throw her a kitchen sink.
And I know it's a meme. It's a joke. I get it. A lot of people really mean anything by it, but it reflects bad on us, I think, because the left will use that as fuel to their already violent fire.
Absolutely. And they don't need more.
Look how hateful you are. Look, you guys are full of hate. You wouldn't even help her if she was drowning, when it's just, you know what I mean? But still.
Yeah. I mean, for the memes, okay, I get it. It's kind of funny, but at the end of the day, you're not going to let someone die right in front of you. You're not. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't care who it is. Joe Biden himself, I'd help out of the water. Barack Obama, I'd help out of the water. Anybody on the left,
Exactly. Yes, I agree.
I mean, maybe they might just see some compassion in you and say, wait a minute, you guys aren't evil? I thought you were evil.
Well, that's what Bill Maher was saying. He says, I liked Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was a friend. I disagree with him everything politically, just like we disagree pretty much about everything with him as well. But he said he was a friend and I liked him, and he's not a monster. He even said Trump's not a monster. He said most of these people, when you get to know them on a personal level, at any level, you'll find out that they're really not monsters after all.
Exactly. I mean, there are some really dumb people out there. AOC, I'm sure she's a very nice, sweet lady, but she's just got it all backwards, man, or she's read Rules for Radicals, and she's studied Cloward and Piven, and she knows what she's doing.
Well, some of those people are evil. There's no question about it. I mean, I think you're evil if you want to destroy America and usher in some sort of communist globalist thing. That's, in my opinion, that's evil.
Yeah, it is. Let's face it. You're trying to disrupt the most
sacred thing, America.
The greatest example of human history of people governing themselves to a degree, it's the greatest experiment that's ever occurred. I mean, there are countries that have more wealth than us per capita, Singapore, right? But it's a tiny little country. It's one city, basically. It's like saying, Monaco, right? Monaco, you can walk from one end of it to the other end of it in 10 minutes, Well,
JD Vance brought up a perfect point that we've talked about over and over again, is that, when people go so far out of their mind, there is no place to where we can even have discourse because you're not reasonable anymore. You want to do harm. You want to do evil. You want to hurt people. You celebrate death. How can you find common ground with that? How can light find common ground with darkness? How can good find common ground with pure evil? It's impossible. Yeah. There has to be some kind of common ground. And I hope that there's some common ground still left among the Democrat Party. I tend to think like you do. I think there are some that would like to have some bipartisanship.
Yeah, and if you like communism, honestly, go look at Google Maps in Russia. Just go look around. Pick any random city, just bounce around it for a few minutes, and then go to another random city, bounce around it for a few minutes, and tell me if those places look appealing to you. If you'd want to vacation there or live there, God forbid, you know, you'll quickly realize that there's not much to it. There's probably some parts of St. Petersburg and Moscow that are, nice enough. But man, Russia does not have much going for it. China isn't even on Google Maps because it would be such an embarrassment to their narrative, right? If you could just plop down in any village in China and just start poking around and looking around, you'd be shocked at the abject poverty,
Yeah.
Gosh, one of my favorite YouTubers, Adventure China, ADV China, would do just that. They'd ride on motorcycles all around China and film everything. And some of the bathrooms that they would go to would be nothing more than just a hole. Just everything everywhere. Just an absolute disaster. You wouldn't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Bees everywhere. Gross. And of course, there's no toilet paper. If they leave a roll of toilet paper out for anybody, it's just going to get stolen. The first person that goes by will take it.
And I would say to all those leftist globalists out there, you have to realize that the model for the global world order is China. So if you're all for this agenda, you better recognize that it's a full-blown surveillance state, a full-blown police state, no freedoms, no free will. I mean, China was just cracking down on Christianity now. It has to be very specific state-run Christianity. There can be no anybody thinking for themselves in the Christian church, and so they're shutting those churches down. I believe it's criminal.
Look what they've done to the Uyghurs, the Muslim population there. They've just basically eliminated them by force, put them into slavery, destroyed all their mosques and everything. I mean, just full on horrible. You can't imagine a worse scenario on this planet of any people who've been treated worse. I mean, and I'm including Palestine in there for sure.
Sure.
So yeah, we folks, you don't want what's coming. You don't want that stuff. What they're trying to sell you, you just don't want. But let's move on here. Where we time-wise, we're good. Okay, Jimmy Kimmel. Let's get on to Jimmy Kimmel because that's really important news.
It really is, man. Yeah.
He's back. He's back on the air, folks.
He's back in
although Sinclair and what is it, Star something affiliates, they won't be carrying him. So about a quarter of the channels that used to carry Jimmy Kimmel will not have him back on because they're affiliates. They're the channels that own the stations want nothing to do with him. And honestly, what gets me here is everyone saying he's a comedian. It was a joke, but it wasn't a joke. He wasn't joking when he said that the shooter that killed Charlie Kirk was MAGA. He was one of their own. He was absolutely not joking when he said that. There was no joke. There's nothing funny about it. In fact, it's pretty offensive. And so, yeah, some of these affiliates are just like, no, we don't want anything to do with you, even if you bring him back. So he's not going to be back for very long. His audience was already dying.
That's just hate speech, right? If you were a leftist, you would call that, based on their definition of hate speech, that would qualify for hate speech. And yet Hillary Clinton saying, oh, we have to support all speech, unpopular speech, which would include hate speech, but yet they were going after anybody that said anything they didn't like.
Yeah. Now, again, censorship sucks, right? But as a business model, so does Jimmy Kimmel's show. Okay. So I think he's ultimately going to lose this. What'd you say? How many people watched it last night?
A little under 7 million people, but those were mostly Republicans that went to see the circus show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See what he was going to say, catch what, it dies off. He gets boring real quick. And then the next thing you know, it's just the same old boring show he's had on forever that is so one-sided. What they say, he's brought on something like, 3 conservative guests in the last 4 years, 5 years. Just, he doesn't do it.
Oh, he's not a comedian. He's a leftist activist propagandist.
Exactly. Exactly. Which is why they need to pass the Charlie Kirk Act to prevent the government from spewing propaganda across the airwaves. It's what we're getting. I mean, it's before Obama did that, we had fair and balanced late night shows that just made fun of everyone. You know, Johnny Carson made fun of everybody.
Yeah, equally across the board.
If you were acting a fool, he'd call you out for it, and everyone would laugh. You know, and it was funny. And you know, he'd rip on your guy, he'd rip on the other guy, everybody. It was just fair game.
This is
the same.
That's something like you're saying, dude. What he did is something entirely different than that, man. That was so insensitive, so out of place, and not right, dude.
Mm-hmm. Even Jay Leno came out a couple weeks ago, and he's like, "Why would you alienate half your audience right out of the gate? Why not be funny and for everybody, for the whole country?" And he's right. You know, I mean, it's something that can bring us together versus tearing us apart. You know, you stand around the water cooler and someone says, "Hey, did you see Jimmy Kimmel last night?" And it's like, "Oh, that jerk." No, of course I didn't watch it. Why would I watch that? It's, propaganda. And they're like, "Oh, well, whatever. It was really funny. He made fun of Orange Man and called him a small penis."
Well, the very fact that he's back on air is 100% proof that the Trump administration and the FCC did not censor him. They keep saying that Trump fired him. No, ABC fired him. And look, the FCC has what's called public interest obligation. So they have to look into that as far, not about what Jimmy Kimmel says, but, not attacking him personally, but the station. Like there are certain so there is some authority to do that. But they didn't even do that. They just, kind of said, "Hey, man, you should get a grip and get a hold," which everybody should say that. Everybody should say, "Hey, Jimmy, you're way out of line." Democrats should say that. But he's still on air. Nobody censored him. Nobody blocked him. Nobody's stopping him. And then there's Hillary. I can give you that exact quote. She said, "In America, we defend free speech in terrible times. We defend free speech, even when it's offensive. We defend free speech." Does she really defend? They never defend free speech, ever. And now all of a sudden, they defend free speech. But this isn't even about free speech. Look, they were censoring people on open platforms, free speech platforms, right? This is something totally different. That is, these are stations that have certain guidelines that they have to abide by. Public interest guidelines.
Well, and the stations have to go out and sell the ads for those slots, right, to get the money. So they can't do it. They're like, "Hey, man, you know how hard it is to sell ads on this show now? You've got, 200,000 people watching you? I can go to Timcast and get an ad with them of a 10-minute sponsored thing for, the price of a 30-second ad with you, and he gets 5 times the audience." So
that's why he only gets like 300,000 viewers as a general rule. And it'll go back to that, I think, within a maximum of 2 months. I mean, people just want to see what's happening and, see where he goes with it. Is he going to still be a jerk, or is he going to kind of try to clean?
Of course he is.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. Well, because he's doing the bidding of his handlers and ABC. ABC was just probably looking for a way to get rid of him. They've been saying he's gone anyway for the last few years. Jimmy Kimmel's been saying, "Look, I'm probably going to be fired soon." Of course, because since like 2016, his viewership has gone almost like a straight drop down to like, a few million to 200,000 or 300,000 people per night. That's hardly anything.
Exactly. I mean, for a late night show, it's ridiculous. And again, it's because half the people out there have no interest in you at all. And the other half are just kind of sick of it too. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that aren't deranged that just want to laugh. And it's like, this isn't funny, man. All they're saying is Orange Man bad over and over and over. Right?
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's just dumb.
It's old. It's so old, man. And I think that's wearing down. I think it's even wearing Democrats down. That's why even Democrats don't watch the show, man. It's just too much. A Democrat says, "I just want to be entertained, and I'm tired of hearing." I would imagine that most Democrats that don't like Trump are saying, "I don't want to hear any more about Trump than I have to. So please just be funny, because that's why I'm watching your show."
Exactly. And make everybody laugh, man. Just be inclusive. Like, Jasmine Crockett's out there saying some of the dumbest things on the planet, and you can't like pick that low-hanging fruit and make fun of it. Right? It's so easy.
Yeah, well, they don't want to make fun of the left. You know how it is. They know losing, and they know they're losing very badly. The Democrat Party is over. It's been over for a while. We've talked about it. They're on their way out unless they have real reform, and I just don't see that happening as long as the globalists control the Democrat Party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she's such an embarrassment that posthumously Davy Crockett just changed his last name to Jones. I don't know. Easy. It's easy to make fun of her. It's easy. Anyway, in the couple minutes we have left, let's talk about Tylenol and acetaminophen. Is that how Trump pronounced it?
Wow.
Yeah. Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen. You didn't see the clip where Trump was trying to read that word in a press conference and he had no idea how to pronounce it, so he was trying to read it phonetically. But anyway, Harvard University came out with a study that said, hey, man, this stuff is really bad for pregnant moms and their babies, and it could lead, to autism if taken too much. So Trump, RFK, came out and said, this is important. People need to know it, made the announcement, and now the left is going crazy. We've got all these pregnant women on TikTok taking Tylenols just for no reason, just because, Orange Man bad. I don't care if my kid is, gets autism. I don't care if this is linked to autism. I just want to, own the Orange Man. Barry, have you seen those?
I have. It's quite shocking. And of course, they're saying I also got an extra booster shot as well. So they're getting the old booster shot and taking some Tylenol. Good for them, I guess. I mean, I would say don't do that.
Gosh.
Hey.
While you're pregnant.
Yeah. Well, we know
they
shouldn't even be getting the COVID shot while they're pregnant. I mean, that was one of the first things.
Absolutely not.
In Europe, right? Don't give this to pregnant women. Don't give it to teenagers under the age of 16 and the elderly over whatever age it was. And then soon after that, that's who they were promoting it to. They even were promoting it for like infants and so forth. So we can see they admitted that it would be bad for those people, and then they actually pushed it for those people, which to me seems extremely sinister and diabolical. I can't even imagine any other explanation for that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not good for them. I mean, it's shown straight up. But you know what? The big pharma's got to make that money. They got to make that sweet, sweet green. Because they promised me, $10 million for my next campaign. And I need that money. So, yeah, hey, let's just make it mandatory. Go ahead. How about this? How about in your wildest dreams, Big Pharma, we'll make it mandatory to go out to eat if you don't, you have to have the vaccine to even go eat. How does that sound? Is it, does that give me my $10 million in the next campaign? Great. Let's do it then. That's the evil that we're looking at, folks.
I mean, it's
shocking. But on that note,
voting the death jab. You know what I'm saying? It's shocking.
Yeah. And on that note, though, we've got to take a break. So, folks, this is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. We'll be right back with more right after this.
All right, we are on radio break.
Excellent. Release the hounds.
Excellent, my sweet child.
Oh,
this is George.
Roger says, don't give it to biological men who are on their period or pregnant either. Let's not forget them. Shingles doesn't care. He goes.
Love giving the shots to pregnant men. This is George Soros, your favorite globalist fiend.
Yeah.
You be quiet, Mark. Nobody asked you.
Yeah. There you go. I don't know. George Soros came in again. Strange how that happens. Yeah. I don't know. He's like he takes over the.
You definitely need an exorcist, Barry. I know a couple good ones. All right, so I can refer them to you if you want later on.
Unleashed Antifa onto the public, and soon we will have a hard civil war.
Hey man, whoever that is, dude, that's scary. George Soros coming in through the air like that. Wow. Man, he needs to be arrested. Guy's evil.
He sounds very spooky.
Yeah, I bet he's spooky.
Come to Dracula.
He's very spooky, and it's almost Spooktober.
I am Prince Charles,
a descendant of Nosferatu.
Roger says you're scaring him, Barry. If he's scared...
Roger's sensitive, yeah.
Yeah, you know, Roger's a really sensitive type guy.
Sorry, Roger.
You know,
I can't help it. George keeps taking over the airwaves, man.
He'll be up tonight crying and crying himself to
yeah,
sleep.
He'll, you know what's going to happen when Nancy's show comes on later on? He's going to cry to Mark Edworthy, you know. It's like, I'm traumatized. These guys in the first show Mark had, like,
it was very spooky.
And you know what Mark's going to say? Mark's going to say, well, was it in the terms of service?
Halloween is my
If it was, there's not a darn thing you can do about it, Roger. Yes, it is in the terms of service. I do have to do this. If I have to put up with it, you do too. All right?
Join me in the dark side of the Force, Luke. Together we'll rule the universe.
Can't have that.
Yeah.
Can't have... Oh. I need to watch that again. It's been... I like the first 3 Star Wars. You know, well, actually, they're the last 3.
What you really need to do before you watch the first 3 Star Wars, watch... what is it? Jordan Maxwell, all right? Watch a Jordan Maxwell about Sun and Sun. S-O-N-S-U-N. And then watch Star Wars, and you will look at it quite differently after that.
Sun and Sun, huh?
Sun and Sun, yeah.
Right,
yeah, because
S-O-N and S-U-N.
Luke Skywalker is the sun, all right? He takes 12 steps. You know? Anyways, if I tell you any more, it'll give everything away that Jordan will tell you. So you got under 30 seconds. Oh, okay.
I don't see it here in the search, but whatever.
You got your,
mean it doesn't
you got your
exist.
clips ready? Because right here it comes. I'm just Josh Hugh. I'm taking over for Mark right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hour 2 of the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show for Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. All kinds of stuff going on in the world. We were just talking about Tylenol before the break. Barry, did you have anything you wanted to add to that subject before we move on?
To Tylenol?
Yeah, to the whole Tylenol for pregnant women. I would just like to add that, you know, folks, if you're out there and you're pregnant, really, what they're saying is just don't take Tylenol on any kind of regular basis. If you have a really bad, you know, fever or something, and you can't, quote, sweat it out, then maybe take one. But really, acetaminophen, just avoid it if you're pregnant. That's what I would say.
Yeah. And the media, they've been saying that it's all just insane when it's all backed by science. It's all backed by medical studies. And that's really terrifying when the media has become so blatantly irresponsible and reckless. That's very problematic because it's costing people their lives. You know, it's possible, definitely costing their livelihood many times, if not their lives. And so when they're constantly giving misinformation, disinformation, and lies, this is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous.
It really is. This is. I started out the segment saying,
guys,
it wasn't.
Don't you know that the speed of science works the same way as the speed of politics, with some dollars passed under the table?
Yeah. But I started when I brought this story up for the first time, saying it wasn't Trump, it was Harvard Medical School that made this announcement.
Exactly.
Trump and RFK Jr. are just forwarding the message out to the people to give it, you know, more of an audience. And what are the left doing with that Harvard study? They're discrediting it because it came from Trump and RFK. And they're saying to women, go out and take it. It's fine. This is all ridiculous. When even Tylenol has said for years that if you're pregnant, don't take the product.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, like you say, it's disgusting.
She said, "Hey, man, I wouldn't take that COVID shot if Trump brought it out." And then that same shot that was created during the Trump administration, the moment that Biden became the president and Kamala became the vice president, they were pushing that same jab.
Mm-hmm.
So this is clearly Trump derangement syndrome, man, and we see this play out at multiple levels. In so many different ways, so many different times. It's just almost like a playbook that we can count on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. But anyway, enough of that. I think we got that message out to the people and folks. Again, if you're pregnant, just don't take Tylenol. It's pretty straightforward. Acetaminophen specifically.
Can men that are pregnant take it though? Because that might be a little bit different. I'm just saying. No.
If you have if you're born a man, then yes, you can take it while you're pregnant. It won't affect the baby in any way.
I think that needs to be clarified. Thank you, CS, for doing that.
Yeah. But if you're a woman who, is pregnant but identifies as a man, then you shouldn't take it either. So it's a little complicated.
Don't confuse me.
I know it gets out of hand real quick.
It's real confusing real quick.
Let's see this. This is one I wish I could play you guys the video of. It's wonderful doing radio. I love it. But man, sometimes I just want to share my screen with you guys through the airwaves so you can see the brilliance that is the White House's latest troll on Joe Biden. So, as we all know.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. This is great, dude. Yes.
Donald Trump, the avid builder, is adding a new ballroom. He redid the Rose Garden. He's just making the White House great again. Right? Doing all the things to it that need to be done, none of the things that don't need to be done. And, well, maybe this didn't need to be done, but he added a presidential walk of fame. So it's near the Rose Garden. One side is all windows, the other side is a long wall, and it's got every president's portrait on the wall, all the way from George Washington on up to Carter, Reagan, Bush 1, Bush 2. You got Bill Clinton. That gave way to who was in between? No, it was Bush 2 was in between. Then you got Obama. Then you got Trump. Then you got Joe Biden. For Joe Biden's picture, they just put the auto pen. Right? They just used the auto pen. It's a picture of an auto pen signing his name on his presidential portrait in the wall of Presidential Walk of Fame. It is the biggest troll ever. It really is.
Yeah. And it shows it finishing, the last part of Joe Biden's name. It's a close-up of the actual auto pen. And a lot of the rhino anti-Trumpers were posting this saying how despicable and disgusting it was. I was like, no, it's brilliant, man. Finally, we get a little bit of honesty and truth at the White House.
Well, I mean, if I was Trump, I would put that up for a day or two to get the pictures out and do the meme. And then I would put up a picture of Joe Biden, right? I'm not going to leave that there for the next 4 years.
I have no problem with it because I think it's honest and truthful. And I think that's what we need right now more than anything.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show you that, the auto pen was the president.
100%.
And you can't argue it wasn't because, I mean, pudding time came at 1 o'clock and then bedtime again at 4. It was just, he just wasn't there, man. He wasn't there.
You bet. You think? I don't know, man. He's sharp as a tack. I believe the left. The left is telling the truth. They're saying he's still sharp as a tack. So it's beautiful. He's way smarter than Trump. He's way sharper than Trump. Needs to have, a test, a mental test, a cognitive test.
Another one?
Exactly. Yeah. He's already had 2 or 3 probably.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So on the subject of Donald Trump, you and I watched it the other day, the UN speech that he gave. Folks, it was an hour long. And if you want to see classic Donald Trump on the world stage, literally being the best president, if you just want to sit there and say, I voted for that, I voted for that, I voted for that, I voted for that, watch his UN speech. It was pure fire. Would you agree?
Yep. He was Trump unleashed.
absolutely unleashed. And I agreed with damn near every word he said. And I think a lot of people in there did. And I think a lot of people were pooping their pants. You know, I mean, let's see here. I've got some. Oh God, I mean, it started with him and Melania are walking into the UN building. Okay, they walk along, get to the first escalator, and they step on it, and it immediately stops. The second they step on it, the thing stops in its tracks. Think about that. What are the odds? What are the odds? Escalators are pretty basic. They tend to work like 99% of the time. And I've been on a million escalators. I've never once had one just stop while I was standing on it. You know what I mean? Have you?
Yep. Well, it's clearly, somebody was conspiring, obviously. And it's funny because we talked about this in the pre-show, and I literally was telling you how I saw when Trump was walking up to the podium, I literally had the thought come into my head, if I was some globalist stooge who really wanted to sabotage Trump, I would make sure that the teleprompter didn't work to try to embarrass him. And that was the thought that came to my head. And then the moment he gets up there, it happened. And how did I know that? Because it's sort of typical behavior of these people. They can't play fair. So and actually he did quite well without the teleprompter. He's actually unlike Kamala, who needs a teleprompter and then doesn't need teleprompter very well. Same thing for Biden. He can just go off the cuff. And he had a notebook which he could read off of as well.
Yeah, exactly. He had notes he was reading, but to keep him on track. But the teleprompter probably would have been nice, And again, they sabotaged the escalator. How petty! Somebody was watching a feed from the lobby, saw him going on there, waited for him to step on the escalator, and then said, "Now pull it." And then some other dude pushed a button and turned off that escalator right there on the spot.
It's kind
of can't convince me otherwise.
It's juvenile, isn't it? I mean, it's like childlike behavior.
And then someone else at the UN, the United Nations, decided to just, hey, let's turn off his teleprompter right away. As soon as he gets up there, just turn it right off. Tell me those two things happened simultaneously just to Donald Trump. To no one else, only Donald Trump. It's disgusting. And I'll tell you, they were right to do it because he laid into them for 1 hour. Let's just I got a couple clips here. They're brilliant. Just listen to this.
It's too bad that I had to do these things instead of the United Nations doing them. And sadly, in all cases, the United Nations did not even try to help in any of them. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen, but she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much. And by the way, it's working now. It just went on. Thank you. I think I should just do it the other way. It's easier. Thank you very much. I didn't think of it at the time because I was too busy working to save millions of lives. That is the saving and stopping of these wars. But later I realized that the United Nations wasn't there for us. They weren't there. I thought of it really after the fact, not during these negotiations, which were not easy. That being the case, what is the purpose of the United Nations? The UN has such tremendous potential. I've always said it. It has such tremendous, tremendous potential, but it's not even coming close to living up to that potential. For the most part, at least for now, all they seem to do is write a really strongly worded letter and then never follow that letter up. It's empty words, and empty words don't solve war.
Empty words, they don't solve war. They never once tried to help them. And I mean, we're just getting started here. Let's go to him talking about London.
About it. And I have to say, I look at London where you have a terrible mayor, terrible mayor. And it's been so changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law. But you're in a different country. You can't do that. Both the immigration and their suicidal energy ideas will be the death of Western Europe if something is not done immediately. This cannot be sustained. What makes the world so beautiful is that each country is unique. But to stay this way, every sovereign nation must have the right to control their own borders. You have the right to control your borders.
He also goes on to talk about how they're financing the Russian side of the war by purchasing their energy. Right?
Yeah.
He's like, you guys are funding this whole thing. What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, that kind of keeps the war going too, because, if Russia remains strong, then they can keep fighting strong. And that's the goal. Yeah. NATO, that's the goal of these globalists, is to keep that war going for as long as they possibly can, because they love death, blood, and mayhem and murder.
Exactly. And I mean, I bet the amount of money they send to them to purchase energy on a daily basis is damn near about the same amount of money Russia's spending to fund the war in Ukraine. It's probably dollar for dollar, if I were to guess.
Well, it's always been said that the globalists fund both sides of all wars. That's kind of been theory,
absolutely.
And there is some truth to it. I don't know the extent of it, but that is the truth in some instances for sure. A lot of these bankers and a lot of these evil people, they don't have sides. They just have whatever side gets them paid. It's all about like what you've been saying about the money. Show me the money.
Yeah. Here he is talking about Palestine. And interestingly enough, we just had Netanyahu come out the other day and say that if there is a Palestinian state, it will not exist west of the Jordan River. Okay. So that's an interesting throwdown. It'll probably exist in Jordan maybe, but he's like, it'll never exist west of the Jordan River. So that means the West Bank, Gaza, none of it. But here's Trump talking about it.
Ceasefire in Gaza, have to get that done, have to get it done. Unfortunately, Hamas has repeatedly rejected reasonable offers to make peace. We can't forget October 7th, can we? Now, as if to encourage continued conflict, some of this body is seeking to unilaterally recognize a Palestinian state. The rewards would be too great for Hamas terrorists for their atrocities. This would be a reward for these horrible atrocities, including October 7th, even while they refuse to release the hostages or accept the ceasefire. Instead of giving to Hamas and giving so much, because they have taken so much. This could have been solved so long ago. But instead of giving in to Hamas's ransom demands, those who want peace should be united with one message: release the hostages now. Just release the hostages now.
Yeah, then we can talk. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
he laid it out, no question about it, man. And it's got to end. I mean, the bloodshed is just too much. It's not good for the mental disposition of the world right now. And it's also really dangerous to be on that kind of shaky ground with so much polarization in the world. We need to have peace. So Trump is right about that. We got to negotiate peace. We got to make these wars end. He's already stopped 7. He's got 2 more to go. Let's end them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And again, the UN had zero to do with any of those.
Oh, yeah.
He's right. What are we paying for? Why are we part of this? Who cares?
Well, the UN is one of the most corrupt entities in the entire world. I mean, they're not about peacekeeping. They're about chaos, mayhem. That's what they're about. That's what they do. They create more chaos. They're not solving problems. And Trump just proved that once again in another instance.
He went on at another point in this, and I wish I had the clip in front of me, but it's going to be too tricky to find while I'm live on the air. But he said, I remember when the UN was going to renovate this building, so many years ago, 15, 20 years ago by now. He's like, I put in a bid to do the work, and I bid $500 million.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
$500 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they said no. They said, no, we're not going to take your bid. We're going to take this other one that's $2 billion. And then with the overruns, because of course, overruns, it came out closer to $4 billion. So Trump's like, I would have done it for 1/8 of what you paid.
And got marble floors.
Exactly. He's like, you're walking around on linoleum. That was like one of the greatest lines in the whole thing. You're walking around on linoleum. You could be walking around on marble right now if you'd let me do it right.
That's it. It's a good thing he didn't get the marble floor, though. That would have fed their narcissism even more.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, he's just saying, all the things, all the cutting corners they did and everything. And, I would have done it for 1/8 and you would have gotten a much, much, much better product. You would have gotten a absolute Trump signature building.
Yeah. But I don't think they're really about getting things done right, getting them done well necessarily. I think it's always about cronyism at some level, They kind of have this little select group that they work with. You scratch my back and later I'll scratch yours. It's all a big club and we ain't in it.
Yeah. It's a big club and we ain't in it, and Trump ain't in it either.
That's exactly.
Would you agree?
Yeah, it's beautiful, man, because with the whole world pushing globalism and one world order, for him to stand up there and stand up for sovereignty and borders and nationalism and populism and the power of the people, it's just beautiful to see, man. And he's not afraid of any of them. He's fearless, man, fearless.
Yeah. And I mean, nobody's ever stood up, I think, at the UN and called him out the way he did. It's not been done before. You know what I mean? It's just, this is so unique.
He's calm and relaxed when it's almost like he's reveling in the moment that he has to share what he needs to share to all of these people out there. Many who are very, very bad actors. Some of them are probably okay, but many of them are bad actors. So I think he really just revels in these moments because he's just not nervous at all. You're
right.
Go ahead.
You're right. I mean, as nerves of steel, because it is the UN. It is a true global stage. And apparently he was scheduled for a 15-minute slot and he spoke for an hour.
He just takes over.
Exactly. And all of these world leaders are out there listening to him, and he doesn't give two hoots. He's just going to tell you what he thinks. And if you don't like it, that's probably a good thing. To be fair.
He excoriated China as well, and they would cut away to China, and China, you could tell they weren't